Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Panthers going up against the Redskins. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's the opener of the 2017 NFL season between the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. An early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And we are underway from FedEx Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Cam has all the skills that you're looking for. The arm that can do everything. The ability to run, hard to bring down because of his size. But the joy that he plays the game, I think that's his stock in trade. That's his calling card. That's what sets him apart from other players.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, how about that adrenaline? First play of the game, and we have a catch that we're going to talk about probably the rest of this game and straight into the highlights.
Right out of the gate. What an effort. They'll run. This is Jonathan Stewart. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, it's Newton. It's complete to Brown, right side. Touchdown, Carolina. Corey Brown, 57 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And some room to maneuver. 20. Touchdown, Washington. Their big-bodied receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, there you go. They gave up a score to start the game, and as quick as they could get it back, they did on the return.
And people talk about this all the time, whether you're coaching it, whether you're trying to work on it, whether you're just trying to put in the minds of your players. Attack back as fast as you can after giving up a score. No quicker way than on a kick return.
It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence.
Funchess is free. This one complete to Devin Funchess. Touchdown, Carolina. Devin Funchess, 75 yards. And the Panthers have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Still on his feet. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. They come out here in the eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 7 yards to go on 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. And the starting crew defensively for Carolina.
K'Wan Short came out of Purdue as one of the top-rated defensive tackle prospects. Now he's one of the top-rated NFL players.
So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And what about this offense, Charles? Specifically, what about Jonathan Stewart?
He makes sure everything goes. Put the ball in his chest and watch him run. Can run with power inside, but has enough speed that when he gets outside, he can cause a lot of trouble.
Stewart is the lone setback. They'll throw again from their own end zone. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's at the 40. The 20, 10, touchdown, Carolina. Corey Brown, 98 yards. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives. Touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as that is as good as you can do, I guess. So well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Oh, look at the juke. He won't go down. Ooh, with a juke. And he is going to be tackled at the 1-yard line. What a mess that was.
All right, partner, get that disapproving look off of your face. He did get it out to the 1-yard line. Yeah, I know. Wasn't the best play in the world. He's hoping his offense can bail him out.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And that takes us from second to third down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude. But I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got room. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. He's at the 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. 96 yards. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. And he's been effective, and they're winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent, and, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you... They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to... influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Taken in at the 11. fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long. But maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And they'll go on the ground. And he cuts it out to the sideline. They give him a gain of 37.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They come out here in the eye. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. Past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Kelvin Benjamin, 71 yards. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for them. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
On second down, here's Newton. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Eight yards still remaining here on third down. Throwing is Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Redskins scoop it. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15.
I know it's a phrase that sounds really cool, strip sack, but all we're talking about is getting to the guy, getting to the passer, making the tackle, making the play, but do a little bit extra, right? Stripping the ball out, working the arm free. That's become a big...
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses... Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned.
There he goes, right side. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Carolina. Corey Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And not a good return here. He is brought down at the 7-yard line.
So many times during the course of a game, Brandon, the special teams actually helps out their offense. Not in this case. They did them zero favors with that return.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll throw now on the final play. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando. What's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show. I guess we're ready for the third quarter. Let's go. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments.
Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Their dangerous wide receiver. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Redskins are going to take the lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go as we saw there.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Time for our players. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Third and long. It's Newton. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front.
He's got a man complete. 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Washington. Their big-bodied receiver with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sua Cravens in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we've put up big points all game long. The defense is
Greg Olsen, nobody ahead of him. The 30, the 20, 10. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, 84 yards. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, what a move. And not a good return here. He is brought down at the 7-yard line.
Special teams coaches spend a lot of time scheming things up, but this was just a bad return. Now the offense has a long way to go to try to put points on the board.
We get a look at the Carolina defense as they work their way into position. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Big play there, 93 yards. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Short boot, taken at the 21. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
Illegal block in the block. Return team.
Stewart on the counter, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate, The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yes, everyone dialed in.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Benjamin with it over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the gun on third down, Newton. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, nope.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. On now is the big leg of Greg Zuerlein. He has hit from as far as 61 away in his career. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Back now at FedEx Field, it's the Redskins with the football and the lead as we start the fourth. He'll drop to throw. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And
at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A huge play there for Washington. 49 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride on.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Their dangerous wide receiver from 6 yards away. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field, here come the Panthers. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position, the ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it, and even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he...
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out, and the Redskins scoop it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there for Washington. And even 60 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 8. 23 yards on the play.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Their big tight end from 6 yards away. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. They have the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Redskin defense. They get set for this next possession. They haven't played the best, but I guess it's not going to matter because their offense has been so good.
And they'll go in and shake their guys' hands and say, thanks a lot, big day. We'll try and tighten it down for the next ball game. But a lot of guys think this is kind of fun to be able to go up and down the field, almost like a basketball game where two teams full court press and score a whole lot of points. You may get beat, but sometimes you think, hey, that was a good day.
Well, they can still tighten it up here for one final stop. Make them feel good on the way out the door.
They'd love to show the defensive coordinator that they did have one good possession before this day is over.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Second and 10. Newton again. The intended target that time was Jonathan Stewart. And now it's third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. One receiver right, that's Brown. Throwing on third down, Newton. And that will be incomplete as well.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. So out now come the Redskins. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because...
You're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
To throw on second down is Newton. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. From the gun, here's Newton. And incomplete here on 3rd down. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And it's 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Pulled in at the 24. Spinning again. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
Excellent work on the run back there. 33 yards. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic, and people...
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. think the Redskins got it. Yes, they did. You know, it's interesting. There was not an onside kick recovered the first 7 weeks in 2015. Teams were 0 of 24, Charles, to start the year. Has it gotten harder to recover these onside kicks?
I don't think it's gotten harder, but when you cite stats such as 0 for 24,
that's staggering.
That keeps people from trying it at all.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And that will write a finish to this ball game. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely